What does it really mean for an AI to think? Today, we're diving deep into Interview.net, CQRS, and MediatR. Strategic imperative of modern .NET architecture. Headline: Architectural precision for .NET systems, command query responsibility. Segregation with MediatR is the standard response to domain complexity. It separates mutation from retrieval, enabling scalable, testable, and maintainable codebases. In high-stakes interviews, mastery of these patterns signals deep engineering maturity and readiness for distributed systems. But here's where it gets interesting: the entangled handler. Monolithic handlers mixing concerns. Headline: The monolithic handler crisis conventional .NET services intertwine. Writes, validation, logging, and authorization inside single methods. This entanglement creates brittle code where every change risks cascading failures. Testing demands deep infrastructure mocking. As features grow, velocity drops and the architecture hardens against change. So, what's the real problem? Let's talk about one path for all intents. Shared pipeline cause. Headline: One pipeline. Unlimited responsibility commands and queries share the same execution path. Handlers absorb validation, retry, and transaction logic. The single responsibility principle erodes. Duplication flourishes. Direct coupling prevents insertion of reusable behaviors. This homogeneity silently kills codebase agility. This raises a critical question: complexity that compounds. Consequence of inaction. Headline: Complexity compounding. Without structural boundaries, technical debt accumulates linearly. Simple changes require navigating tangled logic. Testing becomes a bottleneck. CI times inflate. Teams ship slower. The codebase drifts toward a big ball of mud, fragile and costly to evolve. Now let's zoom in on intent-driven segregation. Architectural breakthrough. Headline: Segregation by intent CQRS imposes a clean divide. Commands mutate state. Queries return data. MediatR decouples sender from handler. Cross-cutting concerns become composable pipeline behaviors. Handlers turn pure, focused, and trivially testable. Commands capture intent explicitly. Queries return purpose-built DTOs. Here's something most people overlook: the dispatch architecture. System-level orchestration. Headline: Mediator dispatch architecture client sends IRequest to Mediator. A configurable pipeline of iPipeline behavior.miner wraps handler execution. Behaviors validate, log, authorize, and manage transactions without touching domain logic. MediatR resolves handlers via using assembly scanning and iSender.iPublisher for maximum testability. Think about this for a second. The core primitives. Component breakdown. Headline: Atomic building blocks iCarst command attree contract. IRequestHandler.pure business logic. iPipeline behavior.cross-cutting middleware. A notification in process event for side effects. iNotification handler.event handler. Each primitive has a single responsibility. Composition enables flexibility. And this is where things get complex. Request lifecycle. End-to-end workflow. Headline: Deterministic flow API constructs command query to mediator, shes invoked 3. Behaviors run sequentially, validation logging transaction 4. Handler executes domain logic 5. Post-processing behaviors 6. Response returns. Optional notification publishes for async side effects. Short-circuiting on validation failure is built in. But here's where it gets interesting: concrete outcomes. Measurable impact. Headline: Tangible results unit tests target handlers without infrastructure mock-up. Cross-cutting logic centralizes and deduplicates. Read models decouple for query performance. Raw SQL, different database. Write models enforce invariance. Teams parallelize work. Onboarding accelerates the architecture, declares intent explicitly. So what's the real problem? Let's talk about from monolith to modular. Scaling the pattern. Headline, beyond the single application CQRS aligns with bounded contexts. Separate read-write-knee models become independent services. MediatR abstracts handler location. Later, it can bridge to remote handlers or a service bus. Horizontal scaling emerges. Scale query instances independently from command processors. This raises a critical question: event-driven horizons. Future trajectory. Headline, event-driven architecture, unlock commands, emit domain events via MediatR notifications. Event sourcing captures state changes as an append-only log. Projections build read models from events. Eventually, consistent views replace synchronous aggregates. This is the on-ramp to distributed event-driven systems. Now, let's zoom in on Master the Interview. Build the future. Call to action. Headline, speak architecture. Lead with confidence. CQRS and MediatR are architectural principles, not just libraries. Separating reads from writes clarifies intent. Mediator pattern keeps code clean and testable. Articulate these patterns in your next interview. Define the systems you build tomorrow.